Hey everyone, welcome to my channel for the love of sports. Today we'll be going over the ATP tennis predictions for the tournament in Rome. It's going to be a really interesting tournament, and Sinner is back, so very exciting. As you can see here, we're 33 and 22 overall, a 9 and 3 run currently in tennis. So we are playing pretty well, and I'm even though I was out for a bit, I was still making posts. So if you were tracking those, you were pretty profitable. All right, let's get into the breakdown. So as you can see here, we did make some bets while we were gone. We had a couple of bets in having to do with Casper Ruud and Draper. We were really trying to take those guys as much as we could because of how well they were playing. Both of them ended up being in the final, and man, what a final that was! An amazing game. But nonetheless, both players played great, and we continue to rise up in terms of our net profit, all the way up to $676, as you can see there on the screen. Just a closer look now. This is the breakdown. We have tennis being our main contributor. We will be adding some more sports here and there, but tennis is our main contributor, totaling $645 in net profit, 62.2%, 22% win rate. So pretty good there. Now let's go ahead and start going into some of these predictions. So we have Daniel Altmaier versus Francisco Comesaña. Altmaier leads the head-to-head 1-0. Man, we've bet Comesaña a couple of times in our videos so far, and I think we did take Altmaier once as well. So we've seen quite a bit of both of these players. Altmaier's, he's a solid player. I think Comesaña has a little bit more talent. Um, but this is a tough one to predict. I think the price is pretty close for a reason. I would lean Comesaña, but it wouldn't be too strong of a lean, honestly, because Daniel Altmaier isn't a pushover by any means. Next, we have Jerry Leheshka versus Alexander Mueller. Leheshka leads 2-0 in the head-to-head. They have not played on the clay surface yet. Leheshka is by far the better player. Now, in terms of form, he has not been in great form. Um, ever since he really, he had a really big run at the beginning of the year. Other than that, though, he hasn't really been able to do much. Um, he's not great on this surface either. Um, I just can't lay too big of a number with Leheshka at this moment. And Alexander Mueller is not a pushover. We've bet him also on the channel before. He's a solid, really solid player, actually. And I like his game. I think he could win this match, honestly. Next, we have Jordan Thompson versus Giovanni Pericard. Jordan Thompson leads this matchup 4-0 head to head, and it's all been straight sets. That is surprising to me. But Jordan Thompson continues to beat him. It feels like we've seen this matchup two times this year already, and um, you know, it always goes in the direction of Thompson. Giovanni Pericard has a huge serve, we know this, but other than that, he struggles to keep these rallies going. So gotta lean Jordan Thompson in this scenario. Next, we have Hijikata versus Corentin Moutet. This is their first meeting. Definitely Moutet in this one. That's who I would lean. This is definitely more of his surface than Rinky's, and yeah, I don't really see a world where Rinky's gonna get too far in this tournament. Next, we have Tavernier versus Alexander Kovacevic. Tavernier leads 1-0 in the head-to-head. Um, I don't know who I lean here. This is one of those matchups where it could go either way, honestly. Both players have been good in form at times. Um, too tough to predict. So we're gonna go on to the next one. We have Ugo Carabelli versus Carreño Busta. Carabelli loves the surface. We know this. Carreño Busta, he's been okay. Um, I had to link Carabelli here though, just in this surface. He tends to excel. Um, not Rome particularly, but just in general in the clay surface. So I definitely gotta lean him. Next we have Vit Kopriva versus Quentin Haas. This is their first meeting. Vit Kopriva has been pretty good, honestly. He's been rather impressive. I saw a little bit of his match yesterday, and he took care of business. Really, it wasn't even a match. Honestly, he just took care of business. Quentin House, he has a big serve. He's not too easy to break, but I do think that Kopriva will take him in this matchup, especially on the clay surface. One of the best matches I think coming up: Talent Griekspoor versus Kekmanovic. Griekspoor leads 3-1 the head-to-head. Talent Griekspoor has been a player we've bet over and over this season, and he really hasn't let us down. And I can't see a world where I bet against him here. He does lead the head-to-head, even though Kekmo can be a little bit dangerous on the surface. Griekspoor has just been the definition of solid. He knows he's gonna make it to at least a second, third round in each tournament. He hasn't got booted, quick from any of them, honestly, and he's just solid. Like I said, just very solid. Um, Gotta back Griekspoor here. Next we have Nishioka versus Lajovic. Um, this should go. Yeah, I can't see a world where Nishioka takes this one. Maybe Lajovic just has a breakdown, but this is his surface way more than Nishioka's surface, and yeah, it's there. He's a big favorite for a reason. Next, we have Lorenzo Sonego versus Roman Andres Buruchaga. This is their first meeting. Sonego has not been in the best of form, 3 of 7 last 10. Roman was 7-3 in the last 10. Um, this is also more Roman surface. But if we're talking about talent, Sonego definitely has more talent in this matchup, and I do have to lean him. Next, we have Christopher O'Connell versus Cam Norrie, first meeting. We backed Cam Norrie in the last tournament, and I kind of like him. I think he's a solid player. He's gonna struggle sometimes against a really top talent, but I do think he'll take this over Christopher O'Connell. Christopher O'Connell also more of a hardcore player. Um, I think Cam Norrie has enough to get past him. We have Hamad Medjedovic versus Otto Virtanen, and Medjedovic leads 1-0 in the head-to-head. I would go with Medjedovic in this one. He's a big favorite. I think that's for a reason. He's a better player, and on the surface, he's very dangerous. All right, we have our last couple of matchups here. We have Zheng versus Pizarro. It's a toss-up. I gotta lean Zheng. He played against Cherundolo's younger brother, Juan Manuel, and man, he laid waste to him. That was a crazy match. I was actually watching a bit of that match, and Zheng looked really good. So gotta lean him in this matchup, especially he beats the head-to-head. Next, we have the Jed versus Echeverri. The Jerry leads 1-0 in the head-to-head. I think Echeverri's just a better player. He's been in better form. Echeverri's been on and off. We've bet him and bet against him, and we've seen what we like and we don't like, and he's just kind of been all over the place in terms of form. And I do think Jerry's just a better player. Next one I won't even really talk about honestly. Gavos versus Demir, first meeting. Uh, I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't even know how to begin that breakdown, and that's just gonna be a pass for me. And lastly, we have Boo versus Luciano Dardari. This is the first meeting. Boo's form this season just not. we've been fading him anytime that we can. Anytime that there's a player that has like decent form, you know, or even not even decent form, just better than his form. And Darderi is in that category. He has been in pretty good form, especially on the clay surface. And I don't see a reason why he shouldn't be Boo, especially in this surface. We know Boo was more of a hardcore player, and he has been struggling in the clay. All right, that brings us to the end of the predictions. So now we're gonna go over a couple of best bets that we have today. I ended up finding 3 best bets, and I know it's a lot, especially on the first day. But this is a lot of games that I liked. So we'll start with the first one as we're on the screen already. We took Digieri versus Echeverri, straight up money line, -115. Great price, honestly. I'm really shocked at that price. Um, I I think maybe they think Echeverri is gonna play a little bit better this time, but gotta go Digieri here. Gotta go. I think he's the better player. Leads the head-to-head. He really does enjoy the surface as well. So gotta go him. -115. Great price. Next, we have another person on this page. We have Luciano Darderi money line. Now, it was about around a -200 something. I'm not sure the exact number right now, but I wanted to pair it with something else to get a little bit of a better price. I ended up pairing it with Lorenzo Sonego to win at least one set. So as we can see here, so Sonego is playing Puruchaga. So all I need him to do is really win one set, and I think he'll do that. I do think he'll win the match overall, but at the very minimum, I do think he wins a set here. And in my last bet, I have Italian Griekspoor money line along with Jordan Thompson to win at least one set. So we have Griekspoor versus Kekmanovic. We talked about this a little bit briefly earlier, but Griekspoor has just been in great form. He's been really consistent in making a decent decently in each tournament. Second, third round, usually third round, honestly. And yeah, I have to take him here, and he's shown me no reason not to. And then the other matchup, we have Jordan Thompson, who leads the head-to-head against Pericard 4-0, and he's never lost a set against him. So all I need him to do is win one set, and that's -101. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. The one with Darderi and Sonego was -135, if I didn't mention that already. And make sure to look at the comments section of this video. I'll have all of them laid out there as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what plays you're tailing, and comment what you think about my plays. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.